presentation on the business value of information technology. There is an absence of a true market of IT in healthcare today, which gives HIT a huge potential to improve the quality and efficiency of medical care. Healthcare information technology use will allow wider collection of analysis of healthcare services, costs, and outcomes data. This will likely provide agents in the healthcare sector with the information necessary to support a more market-driven healthcare. There is a widespread failure of information technology projects in the healthcare arena. US Today in 2002 reported that United States firms wasted $130 billion on unwanted IT expenditures. So widespread is the problem that it could not be solely due to idiosyncratic decisions of individual managers. For example, Gateway lost $140 million in its attempt to set up an e-commerce business. Hershey Foods lost $120 million in sales because of incompatible software. Kmart and Nike also lost $130 million and $400 million respectively due to similar problems. These failures show that we do not evaluate the business potential of IT projects accurately. Current evaluative method may focus on key benefits but ignore important negative effects. So it is vital to assess the business value of IT not just through speculations, but with rigorous examinations of impact of the IT. We need to find this value by examining objective data, and this presentation will further explore this new approach. VISTA stands for the Veterans Health Information Systems and Technology Architecture. It is a system used by the Veterans Association. It provides clinical, financial, and management systems of the VHA. The Veterans Health Administration is the largest integrated health system in the U.S. The system is so large that it serves 4 million vets, has 180,000 personnel, 13 hospitals, 800 clinics, and 135 nursing homes. VISTA came about in 1994, but the actual implementation came about in the 80s. The health record component of VISTA is CPRS, the Computerized Patient Record System, and contains all components of a patient's health record, such as laboratory, test results, medical images, and many more. This is the data from the Department of Veterans Affairs Office of Budget. The data was asked for on August 20, 2007 under the Freedom of Information Act and was provided on October 16th of the same year. The data table displays the budget of the Office of Information, number of records, and the cost per patient index in the last decade. To better understand this data, this presentation will contain the scatter plots that show the correlation of the different sets of the information. The stronger the relationship, the more significant the comparison is. For example, one can expect a strong relationship between the IT cost and the use, because if IT investment has not led to more use, then return on investment would be considered insignificant. Now we'll take a look at the first graph. This graph illustrates a correlation between the IT budget and the cost per patient. The numbers are taken from the previous chart. Correlations are calculated on a 0 to 1 scale. The closer to 1, the higher the correlation is. With a rate of R squared at 0.7963, you can see that the budget and the cost per patient are closely related. This graph illustrates the correlation between the number of records and the cost per patient index. Here, the rate of R squared is 0.3209. This number is closer to 0, which shows that the correlation is weak. This final graph illustrates the correlation between the IT budget and the number of records in VISTA. Here, the rate of R squared is 0.585, which shows a moderate correlation. There are two explanations as to which causation may be right. The first causation explains that the revenue drives to use, which leads to more investment. The alternative causation states that more investment leads to more use, which eventually leads to more revenue. PCR here represents the correlation between IT and revenue. PCU here represents the correlation between cost and the use of IT, while finally PUR represents the correlation between the use of IT and revenue. Using these equations on this slide, we find that The closer to zero determines the causation. The reduction in cost per patient led to growth in IT budget because the equation is much closer to zero. So in conclusion, we find that more investment led to more use, which led to more revenue. There are certainly limitations that come with this approach. First is data availability. The needed data may not always be available, and the retrieval of significant information is different if people have not tracked their data. Also, short sequences of only three groups of data is really limiting. So there is a need to use the entire revenue stream to drive about the best result. The correlations can tell you where the most attention should be focused.